'cause we're gonna shout it loud. Even if our words seem meaningless, like I'm carrying the weight of the world. I wish that some way, somehow, that I could save every one of us, but the truth is that I'm only one girl.
Hello and welcome, I'm Stormo, and yeah, we're recording a new episode now. This episode's a little bit odd because due to a technical stuff up on my part, I accidentally lost the original mic audio. So I'm going to have to record it with post-commentary, I guess is the best way to describe it. So, and I'll have to remember, because this is quite some time after I put this video out, I have to remember, or recorded this video, sorry, have to remember what I did in it, which was apparently checking the map and doing a bunch of other stuff, so that's cool, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't, there was a technical issue with this particular video, and the mic audio never got recorded, my original commentary never got recorded, so I've had to come back. This is probably almost 2 weeks after I recorded this originally, to lay down this commentary track for it. So anyway, we're heading off back to the fairground, I think because I thought I could do something at the fairground right now that I don't believe I could. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so, and yes, I know the quest here. I think... Oh, did I do this quest? Because I've recorded a number of videos since this episode, and I can't remember if I actually did start this quest now or not. Looks like I did start this quest now. Huh, okay, I'd forgotten about this in my later videos. But that's fine, that's fine. This is the scientist machine. We give him a whole bunch of money, he gives us some rewards, and then there's a really cool reward at the end of it. So that's the point. Okay, so I spoke to this guy, but I never actually invested in him at this point. I think I check how much money I've got, which is nothing, so I can't even invest the minimum amount, which is 1,000 gold at this point. Basically, the best way to do it, as far as I can tell, is to invest like 20,000 each time. But that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, so we're heading back to the fairground now, I think because I may have wanted to do the stamping quest that I actually can't do just yet. But I think that'll be the main thing I'm looking for here. Also, apparently I'm looking for items. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh man, it's going to be really fun. Yeah, I've got a quest here that I can do now, so I'll do that. And I don't remember why I was sliding around all over the place, but I was. But yeah, so that's kind of what's happening there. And yeah, like I said, I lost the mic track, so... oh, that's right, I had the music box quest. The music box quest here, so that's what that was all about.
You think the box belonged to her? Poor girl died a long time ago by the looks of it.
Let's bring this back to her friend.
I also, in more recent episodes of this, I also did fix the audio balance, so it shouldn't be quite as distorted. The game audio shouldn't be quite as clipped as it is in these earlier episodes. The Elgato, this game's actually a very loud game, and the Elgato picks it up at pretty much full volume, so I just lowered the volume in OBS to bring the game audio down a little bit. And I think that's worked out reasonably well for this. But we'll see how this goes. Like I say, I'm not entirely sure exactly what I was doing, where I was going in this, but we've got a bit of time. It's a 36-minute video. I know something about that money statue now that I didn't at the time. I think I mentioned it in this video, one of the previous videos I mentioned about the bunny statue. And there's a later video where we come back here for, that's right, I was looking for the Stamps NPC, and he's not here yet because I haven't done that quest. The NPC's out there, so I think I spent a little bit of time just running around out the front here, trying to figure out where he is. But he's not there, obviously, because that would be smart. Anyway, Yeah, retrieve a corpse and pray for whoever that was. I just missed that. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And yeah, we'll head up here. Oh, and we talked to her. I think I might have done the Jean-Paul. That's right. I did the Jean-Paul episode in the previous episode, and I do part of it in this. This is where, yeah, we met Jean-Paul, and I do the rest of that quest in this episode. I think that was the main thing I did in this episode. I can't remember, but it'll work. It'll work. Anyway, yeah, so spend a bit of time here walking around, picking up items, all that good stuff. I suppose one thing I could do is talk about some stuff I discovered recently playing this game. I actually have a second playthrough with this game where I'm doing some, I guess, I want to say research for this series in a way. Like, what I'm essentially doing is putting together some information where I'm researching what I want for this series, so that I know I know what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm just answering a text message. It just came in. There we go. Might have heard my phone go off in the background there. Sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So I've been playing ahead on my own game, so that I've sort of got a better idea of what to look for, what to look out for in this. And you'll see it in a later episode. I don't want to give too much away about. There's actually, I think, 8 more episodes that I've got recorded already after this one. I've been doing a lot of recording for this game. And they'll go up over the next couple of weeks as time goes on and I get around to recording them all. But one thing I've also been doing is playing the game on my own without recording it, and I'm well into the second playthrough on that particular game. And I have seen the game up to the second playthrough, but there's a few things I've learned that will become important as time goes on. One of the things I've learned, like I said, the bunny statue there is one of the things I've learned since then. That bunny statue at the fairground is actually a boss that we'll fight later on. I mentioned that in a later video as well. But the other thing is I discovered a number of weapon locations that I'm going to have to hang out and find. This is us, yeah, talking to Pascal to get that quest moved on.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we do that, and then of course, yes, that's what we do in this episode. We initiate the next stage of the quest.
This is an emergency transmission from the bunker.
That's right. I remember what I did in this. This is so.
One of other machines there with it. All your high units should proceed and engage immediately.
Yeah, I'll just let this play out.
This was a trap. I knew it.
I promise.
Good old
you,
9S's
we were not aware of this
racism.
information. I realize
Robot
the odds
racism.
of you
Robot
believing
racism.
me are strikingly low, but I hope you will nonetheless.
We'll sort it out later. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is quite the fight we're about to get into here. And yeah, it gets all grey and
2B.
ominous.
Command is deploying new flight units for us.
Yeah, so I've researched a bunch of weapon locations and a couple of quests that I want to make sure I get out of the way so that I know where to go and what to do with them. And there is, you'll find in some of the later episodes actually, there's a quest I did that I didn't even know was there. It's actually finishing off a quest from earlier in the game. I've actually, by this point, I've actually initiated that quest. It's the 2 Resistance deserters. I actually didn't realise that there was way more to that quest than I initially thought, so I've come back and done a bunch of that. Anyway, what we need to do right now is go in and fight a whole bunch of people. And once I do that, I'll be able to progress the story. But you can probably see as we come around here, there's going to be some giant robots. Quite terrifyingly large.
It'll be dangerous, but we're not going
and these are more of
anywhere.
these Ingalls type robots that we fought at the start of the game. The first boss is one of these, and now the next sort of major boss is It's another one, but you actually fight two of them, but you only fight them one at a time here. So we have to deal with those. In order to do that, we have to get our flight units. And we have to go up a bunch of stairs, which I went into the wrong side of the building to start with. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, we'll climb up here and pick these up. No, wrong way. Go that way. That's right. That's where we need to be. And pick this up. Anyway, if all goes according to plan, this will be the only episode I have to record the commentary for afterwards. Like I said, it was just a technical glitch. Basically ate the mic audio. Well, it didn't eat it. It actually didn't even get recorded at all, unfortunately. Like, I thought I was recording at the time and it wasn't. So, somewhat annoying, but not a lot I could do about it. This is me trying to do a trick that I saw in a speedrun of this. Jumping up and down here, you can... If you do it right, you can actually... There's an invisible wall there that you can actually get over, and you can get up to the flight units and get to the second phase of this fight very quickly. I wasn't able to do that. I spent a bit more time than I really should have trying. I wasn't able to do it. It looked pretty simple when I saw it in a speedrun, but obviously it's not as simple as I thought. Or maybe it's been patched in a later version of the game, the version I'm playing versus that speedrun. But I should talk about that. If you haven't seen it, SGDQ, which was on a couple of weeks ago now, the opening speedrun at SGDQ this year was Half Coordinated, who's a fairly well-known streamer, and well-known for the fact that he can only really use one hand to play games. He has a condition that basically means he can't use one of his hands. In fact, I believe it basically affects an entire side of his body. He has no sensation in that side of his body. And that makes it difficult for him to use both hands to play games. So he does it one-handed, and this game, he does a really amazing run of the Story A, or the Ending A playthrough, so this first playthrough of the game. That's definitely worth checking out if you get the chance. I highly recommend watching that. If you only watch one thing from SGDQ this year, that's probably what you should watch. He's really cool, and it's really worth watching. So, anyway, we've got to kill Engels. I know it doesn't come up with the boss name there. You actually see the boss names when you play through as 9S, but you don't as 2B for some reason. But yeah, this is Engels. We actually, after this point, he actually becomes a character too. There's a whole set of quests, which is actually one of the quests I'm going to have to... I haven't fully researched the remainder of that quest, but it involves gathering a lot of items and giving them to him to essentially sort of repair him up. I need to do more and more of that as time goes on. So I'm not afraid to play with my playthrough. I'm not afraid to spoil myself if I can figure out what I need to do before I spoil myself. So like my first playthrough that I'm doing, like where I'm much more advanced, that's kind of my spoilers playthrough, I guess. I'm trying to avoid major story spoilers because I actually don't know the ending. I don't know this game beyond the second playthrough, as I've said before. Anyway, get in here and we fly. We fly quite a way. We fly very away. Because we've disabled that one, but there's still the other one hanging around that we've got to deal with over in the distance here. There's not really any enemies here to fight. You just sort of fly through that, but you have full control while you're doing it. And yeah, I think I had to change my pod so that I had the right pod, because yeah, the homing, you have the homing missile pod set. You can see there, you shoot those homing lasers. They're very slow and not very powerful, and generally when you're in flight mode, you much prefer to have this this particular. Sorry, I just bumped my mic. This particular pod A shooting, basically, because even in your flight mode, it's actually still your pod that's doing all the shooting for you. And your super attack changes to be that instead of the laser shotgun or whatever other attack you have. I think you only get the swirly missile and the straight homing missile attack when you're in flight mode. I don't think you get the other cool super attacks that you can get here. But anyway, that's the second one dealt with.
Target enemies offline. That should do it for the Goliaths.
Look out! It's recharging!
And now we get to blow up part of the world. So this is a fairly major transformation of the map that's about to happen here.
It's resonating in tandem with the area beneath the combat zone.
As it blows up and leaves a large hole in the ground. That also creates another problem.
What the?
We got aliens.
Unbelievable. The aliens who haven't revealed themselves in hundreds of years were hiding underground?
I kind of love that they have like a predefined icon and alert for if the aliens ever emerge. There was clearly some forward planning on whoever designed the systems in the bunker for that. And we get to sit through another one of these. Loading screens. So, yeah, that's that aspect of the game done.
This is your commander. For the first time in centuries, we've intercepted a signal belonging to the aliens. These are the creatures that are in direct command of the machine lifeforms on this planet. If we can destroy them, we can end this long and arduous war once and for all. Our intel team is hard at work attempting to analyze the source of the signal, but we're not there yet. We need more data. All Yorha units are hereby ordered to prioritize data collection above all else. We can't let this chance slip through our fingers.
Yeah, so
Glory to mankind.
I use command's data to determine the
so
signal source
this
and marked it on the map.
this large hole forms after
But
you
it seems to
clear
be
out
underground. Like
clear out
way
that section. And this is
underground.
sort of
That's
this is
a
what the
weird
city
looking
map's really
enemy.
supposed to look like. We're not going to fight those things. I think I'm just grabbing an item.
The ground is caved
Yeah.
in. Must have been a
But
hollow down there
I'm
this
sort
whole
of
time.
I rush a little bit through here. Like, you don't have to do this next if you don't want to, but there's no real reason after you fight Engels. There's no real reason not to come down here and do this next
hallway
part
looks pretty
as
old.
well. And the reason for that is because what was I going to say? That's right. The reason for that is because doing this actually unlocks the fast travel, and there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no quest or anything like that you'll miss by going from that fight to this fight. You don't have to, but it sort of makes sense to do this now, and at least open up fast travel, because then you can go and do all the side questing stuff. I'm pretty sure there's no side quest in the area of the map that gets destroyed during that fight either. Like, it all stays together, so it's perfectly okay. It's just a case of needing the what was I going to say? Just a case of needing the fast travel to be enabled. Also, those drill type enemies I think only show up in this area. I don't believe they show up anywhere else. This kind of robot, I don't think you see them anywhere else in the game than here. I certainly can't remember if you do. There are parts of the game I haven't seen yet, so maybe there are other areas, but yeah. Also, I came in here somewhat under-leveled. I didn't realise I was only level 11 at this point. I think there's another boss battle. There's also this area up the side here, which we go... Is this... Yeah, that's right. There's this door here. And that actually can't be opened, and it can't be opened by 9S in the second playthrough with his hacking. And I still don't fully know what all the mysterious doors are in the game. There's a couple of doors that just can't seem to be open. There's obviously something I haven't got to in the game yet that opens those doors. There's a couple of doors like that that can be opened. But then there are others that look the same. Pardon me, that look the same but can't be opened. So, I do happen to know, however, that there is a quest involving Emil that I think at some point you get to go through that door. It involves Emil. There's another door in the game when we meet Emil, which we haven't met yet.
What is this place?
But when we meet Emil
nothing
later
like it
on,
in the
and
database.
if you play the original Witcher, sorry, I'm getting my games confused. If you play the original Nier Automata, if you have played the original Nier, Not Automata, the original Nier, not The Witcher. I don't know why I was singing The Witcher. Probably because they both feature gruff, grey-haired, middle-aged men.
Look.
If you've played the original Nier, Emil is a character in that game, and he does show up in this game. I think I mentioned that previously. You'll get to encounter him later, and he has a couple of quests. Hi Adam, hi Eve. So this is, while I was talking all about that, I probably should have left it play out a little bit, because I've got to talk about this. This is the aliens, and it turns out they're all dead. So you can see the aliens sitting on the dead chairs in the background. They're all dead.
The aliens you see
They,
are no longer here.
yeah, it turns out they've been dead all along, effectively, and the machines have just sort of been idling around on Earth, and they didn't succeed.
And who knows? Perhaps we'll wipe out the androids next. Machines are weapons capable of evolution.
Pray for Sam.
We can become aware. Eventually,
You get this
the
banging
intelligence
techno
within
track
our
here too, it's
knowledge
really
will
nice.
surpass that of our creators. You'd probably be surprised at how
So,
quickly
this boss battle actually, you just have to fight them for a certain time. It's not based on how much health or anything like that, as far as I'm aware. You just have to survive, really. You could actually just not attack and dodge everything and you'd still get through it. But yeah, this is the alien UFO. It's implied there's a bunch more lying around the place as well, but the aliens are all dead. And it's not really... I haven't got to a point where it's been explained why the aliens are dead yet. I'm sure it does get explained later. But I sort of missed that. If it has been explained, I've missed it. It hasn't been explained. I haven't missed it. Oh, that auto-use item, though. And don't get hit by the Wicked Weave here. Unfortunately, my auto-use item. I don't have good health recovery at this point, so I'm losing a lot. I've got better health recovery now. I've done some upgrades. I've got better chips for some more health recovery. So I think at this point I just decide I need to avoid, stay away, and just get my health regen happening a bit, because I'm taking a lot of damage here. And you can see my health rebuilding up there. I really love the auto health regen in this game. It becomes very powerful later on. It won't stop you from dying, but it certainly doesn't. Certainly adds a lot more health to you than you'd otherwise have, and it especially saves you using a lot of the recovery items if you don't want to.
Time grows short.
Yeah, so this is how this ends.
This year, this is the fate that befell our creators.
As for your beloved humans, I guess we'll see, won't we?
Honestly, with my experience of this game so far, I've got to admit that Adam and Eve aren't the greatest antagonists in the world. They're a bit... I don't really... I haven't really felt them as antagonists yet, as I've gone through this. But maybe they get better later. I don't know. So... Anyway, I just thought I'd run around here to show off what this whole place looks like. So it's actually a 2D section when you run around it like this. You have the big circular area. And it looks kind of cool to do that run too. It's all set up to give you this really nice framing of everything as well, which looks really good. And those are the aliens. And then once you're done, you can just head out. And the aliens look okay, coolish, I guess. Yeah, they look fine. They do okay.
Back this way again? What a pain. I'm
just realizing how much distortion there is on their voice. I'm really glad I've hopefully fixed that in the later videos. I mean, it's not a big deal because the audio will be turned down a bit. I haven't... I'm just watching this played back, so I haven't done any funky... The only thing I've done actually is cut out some sort of video at the start that was just me getting set up and starting. I haven't done any editing on this. I am watching it played back in Premiere, which is always an experience. But yeah.
I didn't know they'd finally got it working.
Anyway, now we have fast travel, which is really handy.
How's it hanging?
And of course, it's Jackass that set it up for us.
Build a new access point, so
Jackass is actually one of my favourite characters in this game. I don't think I mentioned that previously, but I really like Jackass as a character.
I've known the commander for a while now. She sure is good at pawning work off on people.
Yeah.
Next time you see her, give her some lip for me, will ya?
There is more Jackass to come
So this has a transporter now,
this
huh?
won't be the last time we see her.
Transporters
But yep,
are pretty
they are
handy.
pretty handy.
They're way faster than flight units when it comes to traveling between Earth and the bunker. Flight units also leave us open to attack, and they're expensive to operate too.
Anyway, so we get access to fast travel at this point, which is great. Makes life really easy. Also, between... So, funny thing, I got interrupted while recording the voice audio for this video, and this part of it, from here on, has actually been recorded about 3 days after the rest of it, so... This video has been much more of an effort to put together than I was initially anticipating, but we're going to see it through to the end now. So in the few days since the last half of this video, I'm really sorry to do that too, I've actually beaten Ending B of this game, and I've been playing Ending C, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh that C route, I tell you right now. Anyway, I'm not going to say much more about that other than what I've played so far.
Then they were dead this whole time. The Council of Humanity needs time to formulate a plan. Until then, this information must be kept confidential. Speak of it to no one.
So,
of course, your next mission is to gather additional intel on the individual known as Pascal.
You mean that freaky machine we ran into?
This order comes directly from the Council. Knowledge of such unique individuals is essential for the success of future missions.
Oh boy, is it. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, so the aliens were dead all along, and stuff happens, and we're here on the bunker. And this is... I've discovered since doing this that this is a pretty crucial point in the story, because the next part of the story, which we'll see in the video, sends us off to the forest area, which is a really fun, cool area. But after the forest area is the next step of the story, and you pretty much want to get all of the story quests out of the way between here and there. And I will be doing that. The later videos in this series are mostly me doing the side quests, because right now is 100% the only time we're going to be able to do those side quests before we do the next mission, and the next mission throws straight across into the end of the game. I think there's, pardon me, one more opportunity to do some stuff after that, but when you start the, not the next mission, the forest mission's fine, it's the mission after the forest mission. Once we start that mission, that main story mission, a lot of the side quests that we have, if we haven't completed them, they'll actually fail at that point. So it was actually a really good thing that I got some stuff out of the way after this video, up to where I'm actually caught. I'm actually several episodes ahead. I've got, this is episode 6, I've got up to episode 12 already recorded, and most of that is, we've done the Forest King, so that'll all happen in the next few episodes, not to give away what's going to happen, but yeah, the next part, I do the forest stuff, but I'm up to doing the part of the game after that, the part of the main story after that, but there's going to be quite a bit of side questing and all that around, in amongst all that, because that's the point where I want to get all the side quests, and my goal with this playthrough is to do as many of the side quests as possible on the first playthrough, and then only have to do the side quests that are available only on the second playthrough at that time. As far as I know, I haven't failed any side quests on the first playthrough yet. I'm actually going to have to check that today, because I'm going to record some more videos later. I'm going to check that to make sure. But yeah, so with regards to this video and everything that's happening in it right now, we just had a dialogue with the people at the hangar, because I'm not sure, I think I just spoke to the people there. But yeah, basically there are certain quests that aren't available on this first playthrough. You need to be playing as 9S, which is what you do in the second playthrough. You need to be playing as 9S in order to get them for various reasons, which will become obvious once we play that part. But for now, we're playing as 2B, and I don't have the money yet. I do eventually get all of the memory upgrades, so that solves all those problems. But yeah, there's a couple of bits and pieces that I'm going to try and clear up before I head into the final part of the game, which will be happening soon. or the final part of the story arc. We are very far from the ending of this game. I am going to go through all of the main story endings at least. I might try and get a couple of the hilarious side endings. I've got a few already. I think at one point we get the mackerel ending, which is pretty funny, and there's a fairly easy ending to get at the start of the second story that we'll go for as well, even if it does mean sitting through a cutscene twice. I did miss the ending W, which you get at the very start of the first playthrough, and I don't think it'll be possible for me to go back to get that, unfortunately. At least not on this save file. Unfortunately, I should have actually deliberately gone out of my way to get that when I started, but I did not. And there's a couple of other endings we can get. In fact, there's an ending we can get in a bunker right now. I just have to self-destruct, and that'll lead to a bunker ending. But yeah, this is me buying chips and doing some chip fusion, which is always the most exciting part of any Nier Automata video, just the endless chip fusion. I'm really happy with the way fusion works in this game. It's fairly simple and easy to understand, and nowhere near as annoying as getting pod upgrades. On my main playthrough at home, which is the one I've just recently got into, the third ending path, I've just now got all the materials to upgrade a pod. In fact, it is pod A that I've got the materials to upgrade. So that's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to put some of my better offensive things in here. I really should have bought that, yeah, get the auto heal, because auto heal's great. I don't have max HP. There's no room for that. Why are you even thinking about putting that in? Don't put that in. But yeah, auto heal's really strong. And I can't remember exactly. This has been a little while since I did this, so I don't remember exactly what else I put in here. But yeah, I did auto heal and a couple other bits and pieces. And I think I'm going through trying to find space for something, and not realizing that I have 9 slots available. And could easily put that range defense +3 in there, but I completely missed doing that. I don't know what I was doing at the time I started doing this. One thing to note with the memory too is that it has to be contiguous. You can't... It's not like a real computer where... in fact, it's like a classic Mac. Classic Mac OS, now that I think about it. Like back when it was Mac OS 9. In the 90s, in the 20th century. When you ran a program on Mac OS, it had to fit into a contiguous block of memory, not... it couldn't be just sort of scattered all over memory like it can be these days on a modern computer. Like in Windows or on a modern Mac, running Mac OS 10, it doesn't matter. Applications don't need to be contiguous in memory. It can just be all over the place because of the way memory addressing works. But apparently the operating system that the androids run in this game requires everything to be stored in contiguous memory. So, I'm also going to assume that the program sizes are in gigabytes. Like, I think I just refer to them as slots or blocks as I play, but it's basically how much memory they take up, and I like to assume that it's at least gigabytes, but this is several thousand years in the future, so maybe it's terabytes, because it could not possibly be megabytes, right? Like, imagine 2B running on like 128 megabytes of RAM. But of course, I suppose also it is actually just the program memory for certain skills too, so obviously there's more memory available for other things. There we go, I sold a bunch of stuff, and I was able to buy the other storage capacities. So now, if I go back in, I should have... Yeah, I sell my machine cores. My understanding, I've looked this up since, my understanding is machine cores are only good for selling. So yeah, this is the part where I did buy the buy all the memory. I forgot. I couldn't remember if I had or not at this point. So, but there we go. Look at that. All 128 terabytes of program storage. Pardon me. I don't know what it is. Blocks. Let's call it blocks. It's actually made by Nintendo, so it's called blocks. So it's all 128 blocks of memory. Slots, blocks, whatever. And then, yeah, go nuts, add shockwaves, do a whole bunch of stuff. I tend to try and use... I like to have automatic healing, so I like to have auto use item. I like to have the auto heal, and there's also a deadly heal, which heals based on damage you do. No, deadly heal. Sorry, I think it's offensive heal is what I'm looking for. Deadly heal is heal based on when you kill an enemy. So yeah, I don't have those yet. Maybe I should put that max HP up in there. Maybe, is that what I do? I don't remember. I don't remember what I put in here, to be honest. I put the critical up. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I really should be putting that max HP up in there, but I'm apparently not. I put that, and then I don't have room for the max HP up, do I? Because I'm an idiot. Yep. So that was foolish. Do I really go for evade range? Because I never use evade range, so... Oh, jeez. What a bad decision. No. I can't remember what I do. Maybe I go for... oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Maybe I go for moving speed. No, evade range. I went with evade range. That was foolish, because I'm not a big fan of that, but, oh well. That's what we did. Anyway, coming up to the end of the video here, so, yeah, you can see that mad auto heal going off there, healing me up, which is great. That's what that sort of floating +1 thing is. Whenever you get an auto heal tick, it actually displays it like that, which is a little odd, but that's how it works. And at least it lets you know that it's working then, I guess. So that's always nice. Anyway, just going to save the game here, and then that will be the end of the video, so may as well leave it here. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.
I wish that some way, somehow, that I could save every one of us, but the truth is that